November 15 marks the 90th anniversary of the Philippine Commonwealth. But more than that long stretch of road in Quezon City, what exactly was the Philippine Commonwealth? And what has it got to do with the National Museum of Fine Arts? Let's find out. The Philippine Commonwealth was a 10-year transitional period under American rule, which culminated in the recognition of our independence in 1946. It was the key provision of the Tidings-McDuffie Law, enacted in 1934, a fruit of many years of Filipino political leaders campaigning to regain self-rule. On November 15, 1935, the Philippine Commonwealth was formally inaugurated at the Legislative Building. Manuel Quezon and Sergio Osmeña, both renowned political figures and leaders of the independence campaigns at that time, were also sworn in as the first Commonwealth President and Vice President, respectively. That very day, President Quezon delivered his inaugural address to a crowd of over 300,000 people. The nation watched and listened as a new era unfolded. Silently standing as its backdrop was the original neoclassical legislative building designed by Antonio Toledo, Ralph Harrington Doane, and Juan Arellano, signifying the nation's aspirations for grandeur, stability, and order, as well as its desire to enjoy the blessings of enlightenment and democracy. Today, the marker at the base of the flagpole commemorates the building's role during the Commonwealth. By the main entrance, you'll see a marker commemorating the Constitutional Convention that drafted the 1935 Constitution, as well as the sculptures made by Guillermo Tolentino of Vice President Sergio Osmeña on the right and the sculpture of President Manuel Quezon on the left. Unfortunately, the Second World War interrupted what was supposed to be a smooth transition under the Commonwealth, an era also famously known as peacetime. In 1943, under Japanese rule, the Second Philippine Republic was inaugurated at the same building where the Commonwealth was born. After the war, the Commonwealth government returned from exile and resumed the transition toward independence. Elections followed in April 1946. Manuel Roxas won the presidency, while Elpidio Quirino won the vice presidency. Roxas took his oath of office in May 1946, in a temporary stage built in front of the ruins of the Legislative Building as the last president of the Philippine Commonwealth. He would later have a second inauguration, this time as the first president of the independent Third Philippine Republic, on July 4, 1946, at the Independence Grandstand. The Legislative Building was rebuilt in 1949 and continued to house the Senate and Congress until 1972. The Senate reopened here in 1987 and stayed until its transfer to Pasay City in 1997. The following year, President Fidel V. Ramos signed Republic Act No. 8492, designating the old Legislative Building as a permanent home of the National Museum. Today, the old Legislative Building serves as a pantheon of heritage and a tribute to our nation's artists. As the National Museum of Fine Arts, it continues to symbolize our ingenuity as Filipinos, whether in governance, the arts, or whatever fields we find ourselves in. So the next time you visit the National Museum of Fine Arts, take a moment to look back on our country's long road to independence and appreciate this hallowed ground where our nation took one of its greatest turning points in history.